Okay, so then we're gonna come down a little bit and blend, but then we're gonna.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just use the corner of that bevel edge of the brush and just kind of fluff it like clouds. Walk it right down into some of the yellow a little bit. It's going to look coarse to start out, but like I said, the blending is going to be our saving grace.
All right.
Yep, beautiful.
Good enough. All right.
Now see, I have the experienced eye. I know that's going to blend out nicely.
Hey.
If it's not broke, we don't fix it. That's not broke. I'm going to take more of the same color.
Okay.
I'm going to do the same thing in the water. Now, if my angle in the sky went this way, from high on the right to low on the left, it's going to start low on the right up to the left this way. So it's going to be a bevel this way because it's going to be a mirror image.
A mirror image, right.
So I'm going to do this and take this down towards the bottom. I don't necessarily need to go all the way to the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to just take the corner of the brush just like I did here and kind of mimic. I don't have to match every shape for every shape. I'm just going to fluff that in like that. Leave about as much yellow above your line as you got below.
Right. Alrighty. So then I'm just going to mirror this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we're just going to...
All right. You got it going on, Mikey G.
Excellent. Alrighty.
Beautiful. Now that's going to look a whole lot different once we come back and blend.
Okay.
I'm going to put all the colors on first, and we'll come back and blend them. I'm going to actually take a paper towel
Alrighty.
and kind of fold it in half so you get a little more bulk there. And I'm just really going to wipe this brush off.
Getting all the excess paint.
Yep, I'm just getting rid of the excess paint. I could stop and wash it, but I really don't need to. I know some people are more of a brush washer and they want to wash the brush every time they look at it, and that's fine. I just find that a lot of times I can wipe it and proceed and keep right on going. Once I wipe that off, I'm going to pick up another towel and keep it right in my hand. You'll find that I kind of wipe a lot as I blend. What I want to do is just soften this edge a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of roll it like this. I'm going to actually take some blue and bring down into that, but it's like the curb I told you about earlier.
How much pressure are you adding?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Just trying to get that little hard line out of there.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the same here.
Mm-hmm. Just like we did before on the yellow. We let it kind of fade out. Perfect.
And the wiping is kind of preventing the excess paint from getting
right,
out of
spreading
hand.
around too far. If you wipe your brush off and it's a little cleaner, you can blend with it. If you have paint on your brush, you're actually painting. You're laying paint down rather than blending what's there. So
Right.
I wipe the brush quite a bit as I do that. Okay, I'm going to come down. I'm going to take some of the titanium white on the corner of the brush. And I'll pick up a little blue. This is cobalt blue. Depending on how much of the residual red you have in your brush, it's going to dictate what this color comes out as.
So purple.
It could be a purple, and if you prefer that, you could actually put a little bit of the red back into it. I'm going to kind of go with a cleaner blue because I think I might have mentioned a few minutes ago, blue is my favorite.
Right.
And the value is totally up to the individual. If you want to go lighter or darker, it's all good, as they say. See, I just add a little bit at a time, and I'm still tweaking here. It's like making soup. You have to stir up the kettle and taste it every now and then, see what you're getting. Right now, I'm determining whether I want more pepper or salt in that. I think I like that color. The nice part of this, Mike, is we can come up and just kind of do this and test it. If we don't like it, we can change it.
Okay.
I kind of like that deeper blue, so I'm going to go with that. But you can try yours and see what you think. But what I'm going to do is kind of come right across the top of the canvas like this. And then I'm going to roll this down into the red.
Okay.
And see, I'm using a lighter touch there. As I pick up a lot of the red, I just wipe it off. I want these to kind of melt together. And see, I can get those little subtle cloud movements in there, just like I had down here.
Alrighty.
We're going to come back and roll everything together in this sky. So, see, I can walk it right down into some of this red. I'm using a lighter touch there. All these edges will soften out, and the values will get a little bit lighter. All right. Now it might happen that you don't quite have enough paint on your brush. I'm not saying you don't now, but I know what I see from time to time in my workshops.
Okay.
Sometimes people don't have enough paint on their brush to get the job done. You can always pick up a little more and dab it in there if that's the case. Doesn't seem to be in your situation, but just thought I'd share that
Alrighty.
because sometimes I see that. Painting is not about being perfect. It's about putting your feelings on canvas. A lot of times it's not a mistake, it's an adjustment. You have an afterthought and you want to change your mind in midstream, that's fine. There's no easier way to do that than with oils. They're very forgiving. I'm going to take the same color.
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing down here.
Smearing it on the bottom.
Yep, and as I bring it up, I'm just going to do that little rolly, twisty stroke kind of with the corner of the brush and just kind of fluff that together. Now this looks pretty harsh at this point because it's very grainy and you see a lot of brush marks in it. Once we soften this out, everything's going to be kind of soft and blurry, and it's going to look like sky and water, much more so than it does right now. Usually a painting like this will fall together pretty quickly. We call it fun and fast painting for a reason. All right. What do you think? You having fun?
I'm having a good time, yeah.
All right.
Want to make sure that it's up to your standards, though.
Well, the only standard you got to meet is your own. Maybe right here where there's kind of a hard line between the...
Just
the
blend
red
that
and
out?
Yep, let them kind of melt into each other. I always tell my students this. I want the colors to do this, or they are doing this. If you got a hard line, you want them to do this.
Right.
So you want them to kind of melt into each other, not just have a hard division there. All right. I can see it already, Mike.
Hey, hey.
It's happening. I can
Light
see
at
it,
the end of
buddy.
the tunnel.
Okay, I'm going to take my brush and wipe it off again really, really well
Okay.
because I want to blend. I'm going to use a very light touch to start out. I'm going to start down here in the lighter area. Wipe it off really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to come in and do a light, big, exaggerated X like this. I'm kind of looking at where the reds and the yellows meet.
And we're blending upward, or?
Yep, I'm going to start in the lighter area below and then work my way up. See how I'm just gradually creeping up the canvas? And it's kind of softening all those edges. Now by the time I've reached the top, I've picked up a lot of the red and the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to keep wiping that off. Remember, if your brush is wiped off, you're blending. And then I'm just going to kind of lightly go over it horizontally just to even out the brush strokes, get them all kind of laying in the same grain.
Alrighty. So an X.
Yep, actually just a really wide, exaggerated X right across the whole canvas. Yep, beautiful. See how that softens everything out?
Oh, yeah.
That's the beauty of that base coat.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right. That gives us blendability and soft edges everywhere we want them. And usually you're going to always want that in your sky and your water. As a general rule, you know, if you put bigger cloud formations in there, obviously sometimes you have harder edges in those, but for the most part, your backgrounds will be softer. Look at that. See how that just smushes that together?
Now I'm guessing we're going to just repeat the process on the bottom.
Yep,
similar.
absolutely. Wipe all the crud off your brush that
Okay.
you picked up.
This brush is crud free.
Yeah, crud. Start in the lighter area and work down.
And start with the X shape.
Yep.
All right, so we're just going to do an exaggerated
There you go.
X.
And as you feel you're picking up paint, if you see a few streaks starting to show, that just means you're picking up some of the dark color off the canvas. You'll want to keep wiping your brush. And like I said, I could stop and wash the brush, but most of the time you'll find that you can do the job with a wiped off brush. Probably if you're starting out, you're going to want to wash your brush and clean it more often than I do. I just find that I don't really need to most of the time, so it's the lazy painter's way of doing things.
Nice.
All right.
Am I blended well enough?
Yep, I think so. That's looking pretty darn good.
Alrighty.
Nice and soft. Now see, I'm seeing some nice darks through there. Right now this is starving for something dark, so we need some darks in here.